hey man, I've been dreading telling you this, but we set your truck on fire. Hey Wannabes, welcome back. If you clicked on this video, no, it's not clickbait. The auto body shop that we dropped off the truck to get repaired, set it on fire. Before we get into the video, I want to set expectations. If you're looking for footage of it going up in flames, we don't have it. Obviously, it wasn't in our possession, and the shop isn't sharing that with us right now, or maybe not ever. I don't know. What you are going to see is our genuine reactions to like immediately after the phone call, and then our reactions to immediately after seeing the truck for the first time in its current condition. Right now, if you want to help us out, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Now let's get into this video. All right, so here's what we know so far. Today, Monday, July 21st, we're supposed to get our Tacoma back. That's not happening. I called them because I'm really impatient. Like when I know something's got to get done, I want to know time, place, date, all that stuff. And I got placed on hold for a minute. The general manager gets on, who is the guy we dropped off the truck to begin with.
Great guy.
10
out of 10.
Yep. And he goes, hey man, I've been dreading telling you this, but we set your truck on fire. I was like,
yeah.
I did know what to say. I was like, what?
When he told me, I thought he was lying because he does that shit. And no, not a lie.
No. He kind of told me a little bit of what happened. Essentially, they were just welding on like the last piece here or there, and the welder sparked and caught the insulation on fire. It spread to the inside of the cab.
Yeah.
Took out the dash for sure. He said the carpet's gone, headliner.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what we know. Right now, we're headed there to see it for our own eyes and kind of get more information on the situation.
Yeah. Devastation.
Can I get 2 hot and spices and 2 medium Dr. Peppers? Thank you. You have a good one. You too, bud.
Obviously, this is an emotional time, and we're emotional eaters because they set our baby on fire and calls for some McDonald's.
That's fair. So immediately after that conversation, I tried to find out what our legal representation is. You know, I called the lawyer, chatted with them for a little bit, then called our Geico claim adjuster, who has been awesome. She walked me through what to do, what to expect, you know, options here, options there. But obviously, specifically, she focused on what my options would be through Geico, through our own insurance. And I really appreciated that because she was awesome. She knows what she's talking about. I had to apologize to her because obviously, I mean, I'm upset now. I was upset on the phone, and I was like, I'm so sorry. And she goes, no, it's okay. Like, if this happened to me, I'd be livid. And I was like, thanks for the validation. Thank you so much.
We love a person who can validate your feelings.
Yeah. Then after that, I heard from the regional manager, which I was really appreciative of because I was told that was going to happen, but you know, with things like this, you know, I really believe everything. Or at least I don't, but I have a jaded past.
Oh, we're getting a phone call.
We're getting a phone call. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm calling you because I see you're interested in the dual citizenship process.
Yes.
God forbid a man have hobbies.
So anyways, I did hear from the regional manager, and between the regional manager, the general manager, and our Geico adjuster, like, you know, 15 years of experience, I think I gathered, and none of them have experienced this. It's just a first for everyone, apparently.
Which is kind of cool if you think about it. Rare.
It's not cool.
It's a rare incident.
It's not cool. So anyways, during that conversation with the regional manager, he was like, you know, just so you're aware, we're not going to allow you to record on our property. It's private property, which I don't really get. Like, I mean, we're filming our truck,
our private property,
our private property that you set on fire, but okay.
whatever.
But I did understand it. And then I just wanted to mention to him, I was like, hey, the only reason like filming was ever brought into question was because we had such a great experience with drop off, and everything had been so pleasant and like stress free that
it was just a great time.
It was a great experience.
And honestly, it was kind of our first time like filming with like other people that like we don't know. And they were just like so welcoming to it.
Yeah, like,
they didn't want us to film the shop, but like they let us film the whole experience and the process, which was so fun.
You guys are vlogging. That's great. So anyways, I let him know. I was like, look, I'm not trying to jade anyone or
I'm not trying to bash you on the internet.
It was just like when we dropped off, and if you want to see the drop off video, here it is. It had been a great experience. Yeah. Not saying that this isn't great.
Yeah, just a different.
It's just way. It's not what we expected. Not what we expected. But anyways, we're pulling up now. Again, we can't film. Yeah. But I am going to get on here and we'll update you on what we have to see because.
Yeah, I'm scared.
I'm terrified.
I don't even know what a burnt car looks like in real life.
No.
We'll find out. Yeah. We'll find out though.
One hour later.
I didn't think it was going to be that bad.
It's a lot worse than we thought it was going to be, unfortunately.
So they are going to share some photos with us. And I actually asked them to take more photos for better records, at least for my end, because I didn't understand how bad it was until I saw it.
Yeah.
But
she's crispy.
It's crisp.
Like this Dr. Pepper.
Yeah. Also, I forgot, like, our brake controllers ruined, dash camera, our, like, scan gauge is
and, like,
gone.
those aren't, like, expensive things, but, like, we kind of forgot about them until we saw them burnt.
Yeah, I was like, damn it. But even the windshield burned. Yeah. I didn't know glass could burn. That might sound dumb, but, like, I didn't know.
It was burnt. It was a black windshield.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else was burnt?
The wires, the electrical. That's my biggest concern is the electrical. How there were they mentioned repairs. And I was like, I don't want this. Like, there's no way you can convince me to rely on this vehicle. And then also the point of origin of the fire is like right where the brake drums, all the lines come together. Yeah. And I'm like, no way.
She looked rough. I don't think I've ever seen a car in that condition.
No. And
at least our patches didn't burn.
The patches didn't burn?
They didn't burn. I don't know. Damn,
I forgot what I was going to say. On top of the electrical stuff, and the stuff that didn't get damaged by fire or smoke, it just smells like it's all ruined because of
it's just smoky.
What's it called? The fire extinguisher. Yeah. Like, it smells so bad.
Yeah, and that whatever is in a fire extinguisher is all over the car.
It's all over it.
So it's like the interior is trash.
It's trash. That's like had someone stolen it and just like threw a party in it and then left. I was like, damn.
And then lit it on fire.
Didn't see it coming, man.
What can you do?
Yeah. I'm frustrated. Like, from the bottom of my heart, all I can share is my frustration. Yeah. But also my appreciation. From the moment we walked in, the general manager was like, we did this is our fault. They claimed ownership of it. They're not like, well, they're not giving us the beat around. They mentioned bringing in their insurance, and it's a waiting game now. Figuring out what happens next, I truly don't know. I've myself never been in the situation.
But we'll come to a resolution, and
we look forward for this being as positive a resolution as it can be, and going from there. So, Wannabes, we'll keep you posted. But for now, see you later.
Bye, Wannabes.